Hey, it's me, Nesser, and welcome back to the Nesser Show. On the couch with me today is Ayuba. Ayuba is the owner of Tola Vintage, along with his partner, Aoife. They've recently opened a fourth store here in Dublin. I'm keen to know about the journey that has led to this success. In this episode, we explore topics on love, community, and delusional mindsets. I hope you leave inspired. Hey, it's me, Nesser. Welcome back to another episode of the Nesser Show. Today, I have with me the one and only inspirational Jay-Z of Dublin, Ayuba from Tola Vintage, or maybe like founder of Tola Vintage, more like. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
Nervous.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
I know you were telling me you don't really do stuff like this.
Yeah.
I'm always privileged.
Yeah.
When people who don't really talk that much like
Yeah.
choose to do it. Why did you say yes then if it's not something that you usually do?
Anyway,
What?
thank you for asking me. Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
No problem.
I said yes because I like you.
Oh, thanks.
I like what you do. I like the people you bring on the show.
Thank you.
Just want to be a part of it. Yeah.
And I'm really glad that you did, because I mean, for me, I think part of it for me is definitely wanting to understand more, and the things that you've done, especially recently. I think one, to shed light on that and to give your flowers and like publicly. But I think also to inspire anybody else who might be looking at you as like, I don't think people understand this, but when you do great things, I think people automatically see you as a mentor, whether or not they actually like want to, or whether or not you want to. Do you know what I mean? So this is an easy way for those people who want to know more about you and maybe want to go down the route that you've gone through to know more. But we'll start with early days just to get you comfortable and just kind of knowing more about you. So it's like, do you want to tell me like your most favorite fun memory as a child?
Oh, I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah,
You're
no.
good.
Thank you.
You're very good. Playing football.
Yeah.
Obviously, because we didn't really grow up here. You know, we moved over here when we were probably like 6 years old. If you don't really see what you're familiar with, you kind of forget every now and then. But I still remember just playing football. I got in trouble a lot for playing football. My dad is a businessman. I think a lot of people know that. He's very good, actually. So we used to go to his business every day. And if you don't show up to his workplace, we get in trouble for it.
Yeah.
It's either you go there, or after school, or you go to the mosque.
Yeah. Was that in Nigeria or was that here?
In Nigeria.
Okay.
So that'll be my early memory of my youths.
Okay.
But I love getting in trouble for playing football.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, that's
a lot.
the worst thing.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about your dad being a businessman, because I
Yeah.
think that's quite interesting to your life.
Yeah.
But then you were saying like when you first moved here, you found that familiarity within football. Then did that transcend to when you were here, getting in trouble and spending your time playing football again?
Honestly, straight away. You know, that's how I made all my friends in the go here. And now my parents couldn't understand it. It's like exact same what you give now in Africa, now over here. You know, what's wrong with you? But it's also a way of me moving to a new country and meeting friends and meeting new people. So I made a lot of my friends from playing football and moved over here. And I still got in trouble over the same reason, playing football.
But you did go quite high though. You said for Athlone Town.
I did.
How long did you play
For a year.
Yeah.
Because I moved back to Dublin.
Okay. And how was that like, playing at that high of a level for you? Was that kind of everything you dreamed of at the time?
It was fun. I've always loved challenges. I'm always one of those players. I might not play as well when it comes to like playing little games. When it comes to big games, really well. I'm just good at pressure.
You're a mindset guy. Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're gonna go to a game and just like the bottom of the league, I might not show up as much in the day. But we play against Rovers, no matter what team. I'm married.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That's lit. And how did those principles in football transcend into your life? Like, what did that teach you in life?
Discipline, you know. Showing up on time for training very hard. I didn't drink alcohol until I was like 19 years old.
That's quite old. That's quite old for people in Ireland as well.
Yeah, but I was busy playing football.
Yeah.
All my friends that are younger, 16, you know, I grew up in Smithfield.
Yeah.
In town, you know.
Oh man.
There's a lot of stuff like that around me. You know, I could easily have, you know, been drinking at a young age. You know, but yeah, football kept me a lot of discipline.
That's good.
Yeah. Maybe not in school, not in class.
I was gonna say, like, I feel like with athletes, a lot of the times, and even creatives, it's kind of that one thing that you're good at, you're the best at, you're grounded at, you're disciplined at, but everything else doesn't matter.
No.
And I know you were saying that obviously you were getting in trouble in Nigeria for the same thing as you were getting in trouble here, but I mean, in a crazy cultural context, like a shift in your whole context as well, I'm sure that was a good thing for you to hold on to.
Of course, and it's important as well because when I'm being get in trouble, not really, because our parents just care about education, and that's what's important to them.
Yeah.
Anything else after that doesn't mean anything to them. So football for them is like, it's almost like fun, which it was very fun, but I also say a way of like, I could make a living out of it, but they would never understand it. And for African parents, there's no way for them to explain it to them. Just don't get it. Yeah, so football gave me everything. Even with what I do now, I look back to it and think about it, and these are the best memory of my life.
Yeah. So why didn't you? What stopped you from like chasing that when you moved to Dublin?
I found my girl.
So how
I fell in love.
How young did you meet her?
Probably I was what, 20 going 21.
Oh geez. So what, about 3 years? What age were you when you moved to Ireland?
6.
Oh, okay, you said 6. Okay, I thought you
And
said 16.
Yeah, no.
And then you met her. And
met her
what changed?
Everything.
In what way? Describe everything to me.
We spent a lot of time together.
Yeah.
We started business together. We had kids together.
Yeah.
Just build a family.
Yeah. That's it. I think for me anyway, we had like a quick little conversation about love off camera.
Yeah.
And I didn't think I'd be having that conversation with you at all.
Yeah.
But I think it's really refreshing to see, I don't want to say a black man, but in the context that we live in, a black man talking about love in that sense. And I know a lot of people would say, obviously with regards to, for me, I wouldn't have put love before football. Like even just me. So to hear that just obviously means that it consumed you so much to take over your first love.
Of course. And not only that, I feel like a lot of people see me as like a businessman, whatever. But there's also that side of it, the family man.
Yeah.
I feel like that's important for people to know.
Yeah.
You know?
And I kind of want to bring the two together because I think we said a lot in such a short period of time. So I just want to build on the relationship with your family, just your family from home, a little bit more first. So how did it feel seeing your dad obviously go to work every day, and how did that inspire you in life? What was your relationship with him?
He's by far one of the most important men in my life. He's the most honest, kind, loving, giving.
I love that.
You would ever think. He just is amazing. It's not just like, I don't really go to him for advice. You know, I'm like you. You know, like you say, you're off camera, you're very independent.
Yeah.
I am. But when it comes to like big decisions, just give me a phone call. We could talk for hours. We could meet up. You know, I do whatever he asks me to do. You know, I listen to him a lot as well. When it comes to that, when it comes to like something big and I'm a little bit stuck with work, because we've seen it all.
Yeah.
So it's the one I go for the big advices.
That's great.
Only for the big ones.
Only the big ones, yeah. And did that relationship change at all when you brought this other love into your life at a very young age? Was there strain on that relationship at all, or was he always kind of there for it?
I think he's always been there for it, always. It changed because I didn't need him at some point of my life. You know, I just went off, you know, building it and doing what I do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I didn't think I would need him.
Yeah.
But over time, I couldn't do this alone.
Yeah, of course.
I need someone, you know, to guide me along the way. You know, like, oh, do I need a second show? What way should I do it? I'm thinking of doing this. Like, no, wait for it. Just do this first.
Yeah. And
then maybe in time, you might be able to do this.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I've done this, but slow down. Actually, just go for it, you know?
Yeah. That sounds like a really healthy relationship. I love that.
It is. Yeah. It is. Obviously, you have to work there to get there.
Of course. Nothing is perfect.
Yeah, it didn't happen overnight.
Yeah, that's good. And what about your mom?
She's different.
Yeah.
Very different.
In
the
what
type
way?
of love is different. She's my best friend.
Yeah.
I call her every day.
Oh, this is so cute, man.
We talk every day.
That's
every
amazing.
Day. If she can't get on to me, she get on to my girl. Yeah, good.
That's amazing. Hey, it's me, Nesser. So sorry to stop this episode, but need to take the moment to encourage you to like this episode and subscribe to Culture Shop. Thanks. I don't know what, I was going to say something when I did that. Guys, just watch it. And I know you say you don't go to your dad for advice, like you go to him for the big ones,
Yeah.
in the business sense of things. But what's the best thing that your mom kind of provides for you?
Work ethic.
Yeah.
Yeah, she will get up every day and do what needs to get done. Doesn't matter how tired, she get it done. Yeah, she get it done.
That's
So
amazing.
I get that from her.
Yeah, that was by far my
Yeah.
favorite intro to
Okay.
a conversation.
This is only intro.
Ever.
Oh, I thought we'd be done by now.
Lights off.
Okay.
But that was really amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah.
I want to start with my first time even knowing that your business even existed, because I've only actually known you existed for a year.
Okay.
But I remember, so I'm from Waterford. I'm not from Dublin. So coming to Dublin, I remember I came all the way from Waterford to Dublin one time for a kilo sale.
Okay.
I think probably circa 2017.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't know that it was a black-owned shop at all. I didn't know anything about it.
Okay.
But I saw Lakin working there.
Okay.
And I knew Lakin from my friends in Waterford as well. So it was one of my first interactions with black people owning anything in Ireland. So I'd gone to college in America, so I'd seen black people being wealthy there and having a different level. But in Ireland, I hadn't seen black people having much ownership, and I didn't even know that was a conversation. So for me, seeing that, that was like my first interaction with you, and I feel like even since then, the kilo sale is gone, and even just Tola Vintage is gone, like just crazy, even in the last 6 months in itself. So with the celebration of your fourth shop, could you just talk to us a little bit about how that started and the inception of that, with you and Aoife, starting that?
So me and Aoife own Tola together. It started, we were in my room one day and we were just talking. We never used to go out a lot. And we still really don't, really. And we're just like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? I'm like, yo, we could just start something small, start selling some. So we start selling our clothes, you know. Actually, I don't know how deep I should get, you know.
Whatever you're comfortable with.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. So
if I cry, don't get awkward. I just
you
cry all
won't
the time.
cry. You won't cry. So we fell in love, obviously. She got pregnant at a young age. And when I mean young, like 22 maybe, I was still in college. I didn't know what to do, you know, get pregnant. What do you do? How do you go from it? But we used to always go back and forth. She lived in Temple Log. I live in Blanche. So for us to get from Blanche to Temple Log, we have to go into town and then get a bus to Temple Log, which is not too bad. But one of the days, you know, rough in it, we didn't have a lot of money. So we were using child bus pass.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So we go on the bus one day and we have to get into that bus to get into town to make the bus for Blanche. But the bus driver won't let us in because we're using child bus pass. So it's like, oh shit. She was pregnant. So I'm like, I don't want that to happen when she have a baby. There's no way that's going to happen, right? So it's like, what are we going to do to survive? So we just start selling my clothes. And then I used to go to my friends, and she was doing maths in college. And she's brilliant at maths, and so I used to go to my friends and tell them she's doing fashion in college and take vans off them.
Yeah.
You know, she's doing a project, and then I would sell those vans on.
Okay.
They're old vans, you know. I might give them a little bit of money. Some of them I buy off them and then sell it. And that's how we started. I was really into clothes as well. I still am a little bit, but back then I was really into it. Yeah, so that's how it started at the beginning, just buying and selling. And then we started going to charity shops, picking stuff, and they're selling it. And the people that work in charity shops, they know us then. I'm like, oh, can you keep all the best stuff for us?
Yeah.
You know, being a businessman, and they kept everything for us. And then I told you at the beginning, I'm very close to my dad.
Yeah.
Went on a trip to Manchester, and then there's a shop there, and I love the shop. I'm like, wow, I would love my shop to look like this. You know, we got a small shop in Dublin, and yeah, I met the owners of the shop, and then they started supplying us.
From Manchester.
From Manchester, and that's how it started. And then that's like the shortest version of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could
That's an amazing story.
Yeah.
I think you're blowing me away, man.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry. I think that's really amazing to be able to find a solution like that.
Yeah.
Like, cause like you said, you didn't want her to be able to go through that again, and your solution was making this thing that's turned into something amazing. Did you ever at that moment in time think that it would ever become what it is right now?
No, nowhere near. We started selling on eBay, and we would sell some for like what we used to buy this little tin on eBay. It's like little letters, right? And you could make names out of it, right?
Yeah.
It's like you could write like A to Z. You could make like Aoife or Nesser, you
Yeah.
could make any names on it. And then we sell it back on eBay, put it back on eBay, and we sell it for €2 each.
Oh wow.
Right, and we still have the exact same feeling up to today. And we used to sell it on eBay for £2, and the minute we sell it, we run up and make it and sell it, and we still have the box. I will send a picture of it. So everything started like really, really like that. And like even up to today, if our first sale, it's important to us in a day. You know, it could be like €10, €5. You know, and we still have the same feeling. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that's how we've always been. Of like, and we never thought it was gonna be
As big
anywhere
as this,
near as big as this. And then we went off to what? Do you know ASOS?
Yeah.
The marketplace.
Oh no.
So there's on ASOS, there's a little side of a marketplace where you could sell your own product on it.
Okay.
So individually you could sell your own product on it. And then we just become really good at it. We're focused on it. We're number one on it worldwide.
Oh
on
wow.
ASOS marketplace, Tola Vintage was.
Crazy.
And that's why we made a lot of money to open a big shop, you know.
And how long did that take? So obviously you started when she had just become pregnant. Like how long between when she just become pregnant to this? Is this months? Is this years? Like
Years.
Yeah.
Years. I mean, well, we got our first shop after 3 months when we had Tola. And then after that, a year later, we got a small shop. A year later, we got a bigger shop. But what I mean, like, it took years because we weren't making any money. And people didn't know us. I remember when we first got our first shop, we used to go in and lie to our parents. You know, they're like, "Oh, what did you sell today?" We sold a bow tie. What did you sell today? We sold a bag.
Wow.
We would sit in the car, but we wouldn't sell anything.
Yeah.
You know, it was
And how did that feel? So you said you had your first shop in the first year. So she would have just have been given birth around the first time you would have had your first shop. Like, what does that feel like? Like you started this to be able to like fend for her and fend for yourselves, but you just admitted yourself like you're not getting any money. Like, did you at any point want to quit? Like, did it feel like it was a waste of time?
No, because we enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
You know, we really enjoy doing it. So that kept us going. You know, even the moments of like snowing day, we had Tola with us.
Yeah.
We brought Tola to like the shops and we won't make any money. We just kept going back knowing tomorrow could be a better day or the next day could be a better day.
So outside of that, how were you able to have money to fund that and just to live? Like,
to provide. Yeah, this is a crazy part. This is actually crazy. I've actually not a lot of people know this.
Yeah.
So I used to work at the Rockets during the night while I still own my store.
Wow.
You know, and I think that's crazy. You know, I used to work overnight, and then I finish work probably like 6 in the morning, get about 3 or 4 hours sleep.
Yeah.
And then go and open my own store around 11 o'clock.
Jeez. And you never and every day you just kept going. Like I feel like that discipline then from football definitely, when you talk about like transferable skills, that fully transferred. And what was Aoife like? Obviously, like
obviously
now a mother, like
she was
you know
very
what I mean?
supportive, very. But there's moments where she's like, "What are we doing?"
Yeah.
And not just like me as well, and especially my parents as well, my mom as well. You know, she's like, "Come on."
Was it only the love of it that kept you going?
Only the love of it.
That's crazy to me, man.
And we enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's amazing.
Like, people might not believe it, but we still do it if we're not making as much money.
I mean, it's not even that. Whether we believe it or not, we've seen the fruits of your labor. So whatever you felt at that time, that's only you and her. And I think even just from the inception of your relationship to this whole thing, obviously I'm only just hearing about it, and life has its up and down. I'm sure it wasn't all as good as it was, but you become a dad.
Of course.
How does that feel?
Crazy. I told my dad, and the first thing he asked me is, "We have to go meet our parents. When are we gonna get married?" I'm like, "Bro, I'm still in college.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what I'm doing. Give me time to, you know." But it was scary, very, very scary. But we believe we could do it. We've always trusted that if we kept together and stick together, no matter what we face, we could, you know.
Yeah.
It's always been we're a team.
Yeah.
And we still go by our day every day like that. We're a team.
Yeah.
And that's how we do it.
What's one piece of encouragement that you've shared with either your family or Aoife at your lowest point?
Just never give up.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, just never give up.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what it is? It's like stuff like that. Like I hate cliches, but cliches are
Yeah.
they are the way because
Yeah.
they get you through, right?
Of course.
And I think that's this. Like I said, I just keep getting blown away by you.
Yeah.
But at what stage then did you put together a business plan for Tola Vintage? So it goes from something you just want to do, something you enjoy, not making much money, but you're still enjoying it. At what point did you say this is what I'm going to invest my life into, essentially?
Maybe at the beginning when it started making sense. That's the time it just clicked.
When did it start clicking?
So we got this big shop, right? So this is the funnest part. We got this big shop, big. That's the main shop in Temple Bar. We didn't have money to do it up. We didn't have money for the second rent. So we have to do a down payment of like the first rent and the next month, which it was a lot of money to us, and it still is. It's a lot of money. And I brought my mom in, and she started crying like, "Oh, what have you done? You know, this kid, you've got me in trouble. There's a lot. How are you gonna do it?" But we kept the first shop, a smaller shop, and we still signed on ASOS Marketplace, being number one on it, making some sort of money. Then I was about to like go in it. I haven't got a clue what's gonna look like, how we're gonna do it. But we're so lucky. We actually only got it. There was like bigger companies than us looking at it. I mean, like Office, like big companies.
I was gonna say, like, I read an article about the first people who moved out of there because the rent was too high.
Yeah.
So what, like, I don't want to call it delusional because I feel like that's almost disrespectful.
We still are.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? But it's kind of like even the trend of where you just moved into, and we'll get to that. Like, how can you look at this place where a business is functioning and says, we can't do this? What made you
feel like we can do it?
Do you know what I mean?
Because of the work ethic. All we do is work.
Yeah.
Like that's all we do. We always working on something, and always like there's never a day off. You know, we could be anywhere in the world. You name it, Japan. We're doing something. Always working. So we just know we could do it if we really believe in it and if we work so hard towards it. It's just all gonna make sense.
Yeah.
So anyway, we got that shop, the big shop. Like we don't have the money for the rent for the next month. Not only that, we don't have money to do it up, but we also don't have money to stock it.
So what did you do?
So what do? So we got the keys, and I was just sitting outside there, just like, we'll be grand, just a little bit laid back, but also worried.
Yeah.
I can't show it too much. And there's a guy across the road, Matthew. He walks across the road, like, "Hey, bro." I'm like, "Hey." Like, "Oh, you just got that shop?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's an amazing shop. Like, what are you gonna do with it?" I'm like, "I'm not too sure, bro." He goes, "I do everything in here." I don't want to name the name of the company because it did a lot for me. He goes, wherever you sit in there, I could build whatever you need. I'm gonna do it all for you, but pay me when you have the money.
Wow.
So miracle does happen. I'm like, "What do you mean?"
What year was this?
2013.
Yeah.
So almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
He goes, "Pay me whenever you have it, or when you open the shop, pay me little by little, right?" I'm like, "Are you sure, Matthew?" You're like, "Don't worry, just whatever." So we had enough money to do the floor. We put the black and white floor down, and that's how we started. And then he would finish work at 6 p.m., so he's not losing his time. And then he would come in after work and work for us.
Yeah.
And then I would go to his house, he just bought a house and help him out and give him time off as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of
He was
course.
doing up his house, doing up our shop,
Yeah.
and I was paying him little money, but also giving him my time.
Yeah.
So I paid for the shop with my time.
I think that's an amazing display of community right there. And I think even till now, I know you have an amazing reputation in Temple Bar on its own. Like apart from work ethic and stuff like that, and over the years, and big up Matthew, won't be here without
Not
you.
only Matthew though, like Freddie painted the shop. If his brothers painted the shop as well with me. So like stuff like that, my little brothers at Pal. It took us 1 month to paint the shop, but we didn't care.
Crazy.
We just did it. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's so important to continue to push and promote like good values, and I think that just sense of collaboration and community right there. I think it's very hard for us to see something like that in today's day and age, but I also don't think it's impossible to have good people to have mindsets like that. And do you have you ever sat there and thought like, why me? Like, why did all of these? How did these good things come to me?
Every day.
Crazy.
Every day.
Yeah. And how do you manage that? Do you ever feel like an imposter?
Yeah, I try not to be overwhelmed with it. It happened for a reason.
Yeah.
And I feel like I give a lot as well.
Yeah.
In a way of like, I'm not meant to be here. So while I'm here, and also I take the piss away, if I can say that. Do you know what I mean? We shouldn't be opening a fourth shop.
Yeah.
But why not? Why not?
Yeah.
And that's what we look at it.
Yeah. And now that, to be fair, like I just feel like I'm gonna know your answer for this question. But one of my questions was, do you feel pressure to uphold, like, what was it? That shop was in Dublin for 94 years.
Yeah.
Like, do you feel like it's almost an end of an era and a start of another? Do you feel any pressure when you were opening it? Like,
No, at the beginning, no.
okay.
Until the first day we're about to open it. You know, because we were so busy, you don't really think about anything. You're just busy just making it, doing
Getting it done.
Just like painting, doing the floors, getting ideas of like what's gonna look like, the lighting, going through pictures of like the places you've been to abroad, and like, oh, wherever I've been to that, like,
Yeah.
and you're getting ideas from everywhere. So you don't really think about it. But the first day we about to open, we're just chilling. The shop was done, we put clothes in there, and I was just there with, I think, 3 or 4 of my staff. And even just before then, we played music almost like every night when we're done around 10 p.m. doing a rock, and we just dance. And people walking on the show, be dancing with us, right? So the day before, I was just there chilling, and there's a few guys, like, I think they went to Brad Thomas shopping, and they were walking by. They stopped by, they came in, more people were walking by, and people were coming in. And it just felt like an opening party.
Yeah.
There was a few drinks, and everybody just like, by the time I knew, I look around, there was about 20 of us. I'm like, I didn't even
How did this end
How
up?
did this end up happening? Do you know what I mean? And then we started playing music. It just felt like an opening party for the store.
Yeah.
And then I was like, actually, this shop have not just been all black, right? Which is amazing. But it's been exact same shop for 95 years.
Yeah.
Now we own it as a black people, black owned, and there's black people drinking and partying and listening to music and shouting. It felt real at that moment, and it felt really wow.
Yeah.
You know, we did it.
That's great.
Yeah.
And I think, like, credit to you to leaving the pen corner on the top as well, because I'm sure that means a lot to the people in Dublin as well. And obviously your life just exemplifies like the coming together of two cultures, clearly, where you're clearly a proud black African man, but at the same time you're respecting the culture that you're in. And I feel like we had a quick conversation off cam, but I do feel like there's a place for like amalgamating cultures in a correct and respectable way, whether other people will accept that you're doing that well or not. But I think you're doing it in a way that looks respectable.
Of course, and it's important for them, like, for people to know, like, as black people, we're powerful and strong, and no matter what way they might look at it, our work ethic will also always show. I remember the first day I opened the shop, a good friend of mine, I call him a good friend because I go to him for advices. Like, some of those people, like, go to advice just to hear what it's going to say, and you don't take it. Does that make sense? But you want to hear it.
I don't know about that, but yeah.
Did you not have friends like that? You go to them for advice just to, like, hear what it... For example, he told me that if I want this shop to be successful, I have to put a white person to sell.
Oh, yeah. Just to confirm that
like,
you're not doing that.
I'm going to sit right here every day, and I'm going to be the face of it, and we're going to be successful. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I hear that.
Some of those people are like, oh, you can't do exactly for 5 years. You know, if you do like Ayuba, you're gonna have that store and like selling clothes and selling vintage clothes for 5 years. It's not gonna work. You know, you have to change. Right? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like almost like
he's already doubting you, clearly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have people like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. And have you had any negative experiences or negative encounters in business with regards to Tola Vintage?
That's a good question. Every now and then you might get it, you know, of like, oh, Tola's very expensive, which we do know we are, but we just have so much bill.
Yeah.
And people might not get it, if that makes sense. Because I have 2 kids and I have family to support. So little things like that. But anything big negative, not that I think of.
That's amazing.
We're lucky, touch wood.
I was gonna say, like, I don't want to perpetuate stereotypes, but as a black man owning 4 shops in the middle of Dublin City, I think it's very surprising to me that like, I don't want anything to happen to you. Obviously, like you said, I pray to God that it continues to be that way. But I think I just love hearing positive stories, and even if you are the 1 in 1 that ever does it this way, I think that's amazing for you, and I think people should continue to look towards you. And I think there's a lot to be said for having good positive mindsets, good positive habits, and obviously as spiritual people, we believe that will be rewarded anyway.
And not only that, I think we've been so lucky because we don't see Tola as like many, anyway, that we own Tola. It's like Tola's like part of the community. Do you know what I mean? We give a lot. For example, every we used to do it, but we should probably continue doing it. Every last Sunday of the month, people come into the store and sell for free.
Yeah.
You know, small business owners. So little things like that. We've always let musicians come in and do stuff. Escort have played a lot in the store. We've given the space out for free as much as we can.
Yeah.
You know, so like.
I remember I came in the summer looking for a dress like last minute, and like I didn't even know you at the time, and I just like I was gonna pay for it, the price. He goes, nah, for you, like change the price, and I was like, that's lit, because obviously as a black person, I would like every black person to give me discounts, but I also value people's time in the sense that if you've put it at this price, I'm not gonna come. I don't like haggling, like, do you know what I mean? Like I understand that that's life, but
next time you come here, I charge you double.
I'll just come in. I'll just be spraying money at you in Jesus' name, man.
No, I just think it's important that, like, if you do have a space like that, you have to give it.
Yeah.
Not only that, just like little things like our neighbors make important to us. Like, we do a lot with like neighbors, you know, GBK, the sneaker stores, the jewelry store. No matter what, people around us, we're all part of that community.
Yeah,
it's important.
That's great.
We all look out for each other.
Yeah. So once you got everything going then in the store, and you now figure out how to be a businessman or a business owner, or whether you're not figuring out, you know what you're doing day to day. For people who are about to like step into their own venture, whether it's a store, whatever it is financially, like, or sorry, business wise, like what was one big mistake you made in your business that you would label as a mistake?
You make mistake every day.
Yeah.
If you're in business, you will. Something always goes wrong.
Yeah.
You know, we have 4 shops, 4 problems. You know, something always, you can never plan for it.
Yeah.
You know, it might be, you might wake up one day, you know, somebody broke your mirror or your glass, you know, or the shutter's broken, or you left the key at home, or there's a leakage, or there's always something.
Yeah.
But financially, if you're going to start your business, you just have to like, I feel like a lot of people don't do something, they ask for opinion a lot. What do you think? Should I do it? Or we just, with me and Aoife talk about it. Should we do it? And we're doing it, we just do it. You know, I'm so lucky we have each other.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of people try to like almost want people to tell them, oh, you should do it, or you will do well. You know, they're looking for that. And it's always good to ask for advice. You know, it's not a bad thing, but you should always make your mind up on what you want to do. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people want to start right there at the Z. But what's the point of starting there when it's not funding? You know? Yeah. A lot of people want to open like, young people I've talked to these days, they have like really good business, but they wanted to like, you know, you have to start
and that's
right.
So what do you tell them? So
start from the beginning. As we started Tola with 400 euro, you know, start from the beginning and then work your way up. You don't need big money to be successful. Yeah. You really don't, unless we're gonna open like a big restaurant. So you might need a big budget, but I just think you don't need a big capital. If you truly believe in it, you just start small and then grow your business. It's much fun.
Yeah.
You know.
What's one thing you're afraid of?
Afraid of? I don't know. Probably.
Because you don't strike me as someone who like feels fear, or not even feels. You don't seem to entertain fear.
There's moments you get scared. Yeah. Of like, you know, every month it's a scare. Like January's quiet. Yeah. You know, we work in retail. December's good. Then January, February, March, and it's busy after Paddy's Day. You know, so then you have to like money management. So you have to manage your money well. Yeah. You know, you can't make a lot of money in December and then go spend it. Yeah. Then the rent comes quick. You know, the bills comes really quick. Yeah. So it's important to manage money. Scared of probably, I don't know. Come back to me by the end of it. I don't know.
Have you ever felt like you were ever going to lose the shop?
Yeah.
Or one of them?
100% during COVID.
Oh yeah. Yeah, of course. And talk to me about COVID for you. Like, how did you manage that?
Struggle.
Yeah.
After most business did. Big struggle. Yeah. Like we nearly lost it all. Yeah.
And what did you do? Did you go online? Were you able to still open?
So we have a warehouse in Tala. So we have the 4 shops. So we have a big warehouse in Tala, and we're able to. So we're so lucky. Where we live is so close to Tala. So we're able to drive there during lockdown. So we were able to sell everything online. And not only that, there was a system of like support local businesses. Yeah. And a lot of people were buying from us.
It's a big drive, yeah.
So we're working from home and then posting it. But landlords, so we have, just before COVID, we just opened a new shop. And we have the big shop, we have the warehouse, so we have 3 landlords today. Well, so one of them was really good. The other 2 were asking for the key of the shop. Oh, wow. And one of them was a big shop, you know. Like, oh, and it rents. Like, we just can't pay you. Not like we can't, but we don't know when we're gonna pay you till.
Yeah.
There's no point of us paying that big amount of money, not knowing when we're gonna
Get
open
it
the
back,
store.
like, yeah.
So we still have to pay a little bit of it, but it was very difficult.
Yeah.
We didn't know where we stand. We didn't know when the shop was gonna open. But it was also a blessing. You know, I was able to take a break. You know,
Yeah.
spend time with family.
That's good.
A lot of that. So it was fun. A lot of jogging. But apart from that, that was scary part. We nearly lose it all. So that was scary.
Well, thank God you didn't.
Yeah.
We'll wrap up the Tola conversation for a bit. But you've met a couple celebrities through what you do. So I know you met Ariana Grande, and Kalani has come through the store. Who's been kind of one of your favorite interactions with a celebrity?
Ariana was funny. Yeah, she's just funny.
Yeah, just funny person.
Yeah, she's funny.
Yeah.
So she came in, I was like, it's one of those things like, I don't want to talk to you until you talk to me.
Yeah.
I said hello to you, but...
Did she come in by herself?
She came out to go together, 2 of her friends, and that was it.
Yeah.
But they didn't tell us she was going to come in.
Okay.
So she walked in, and I tried to play it cool. You know, you always do.
Yeah.
You're the store owner, you don't want to be too much in it.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, what's up? And that was it. And then she was shopping around, picking up stuff. I was like, I'm not going to speak to you again until you speak to me. But then Skepta was playing.
Come on.
So, and I would obviously play nice music. And I think she likes Skepta.
Yeah.
So there's a line in it that Skepta said he has signed an amount of money. So she turned around and was like, oh, Skepta doesn't really have that amount of money. I was like, don't be slang Skepta. I know Skepta. And I actually don't know Skepta, but I've met Skepta twice, and I know people that know Skepta.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to try, is there no Grande? I'm going to try and be like,
yeah,
I know
put yourself
Skepta.
up, man, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Don't worry, after, I need Skepta's number, bro.
One of my friends was there, and he was like, you don't know Skepta. And I was like, bro, don't do that to me.
One of those, man.
You do that, right? And then when he said, like, Sula, I'm leaving. He's one of those, like, really chill dude. He doesn't care. Just like, Sula, bro, you don't know Skepta. And just left.
While Ariana Grande is there.
He's like, Sula,
this
bro,
guy's not focused.
He's just a funny dude. He's just one of those, like, he just doesn't care.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, oh, don't do that to me. And then leave. And then she tried to pay, right? But we don't take American Express, so she couldn't pay. I was like, you fucked up. Now I can talk to you again. You know?
Yeah.
I was like, you can't pay. Imagine Ariana can't pay for stuff. And then she laughed. I was like, oh, you're playing today, blah, blah. And she goes, yeah. And then she gave us free tickets.
Unreal.
Yeah, but she was funny.
Yeah.
You know. And then she tried to take selfie. I tried to take it, but she's like, no, boys can't take selfie. And she took my phone and she took pictures.
I'm screaming.
So she
That's funny. That's funny. Is there anything else you want to mention about the shop before we pivot? Is there anything I've missed that you would like the audience to know about the shop? Or your journey with Tola Vintage? Have we touched it all? Yeah. All of the interactions with your dad, and your mom, so whether business or personal life, like now you're a dad, like what principles are you now passing on to your kids?
Try and be there as much as you can, you know. And try and be like a fun dad, you know. They always call me the funny one, you know. Obviously, mom's the loving one, but I'm the funny one.
Yeah.
You know, it's always playful, always laughing. Yeah.
And how do your kids see you? From your understanding, obviously.
My son slags me a lot.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you're gonna open another shop, the 5th one, the 6th one, you know, little things like that. My daughter, she's just cute and funny.
Yeah.
She we started a business for her, named after Yara Jewelry.
Oh, nice.
She's super cute.
Yeah. Is there any point in time where, like, obviously you're working so hard for your family and stuff, and maybe obviously when I saw you that day I was gassing you, and obviously you're quite introverted in person. Like, do you ever get to a point where it's like, do you want your kids to see you the way other people see you? Like, how do they perceive you? And do you know what I mean? Is that person ever different for you?
A little bit, because the minute I open the door, I'm different. You know,
Yeah.
I'm like more. You know, in work you kind of have to be serious. A little bit of like, you know, you have staffs, you have to be kind of more professional, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But then after work, it's different, you know.
Yeah.
So the way they see me is different to the way other people see me.
And what do you think?
Especially my son.
Yeah. He's probably a bit older and can tell the difference.
He's a slagger.
Yeah.
He will slag over everything.
Yeah.
You know? At that age, that's what they do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what do you like? How do you feel that the work that you've done is gonna like impart onto them? Like,
especially for my son when he goes into school, I think because Tola come across in the news a lot, and that's his name. So he's well known in school. I don't know if it's a good to know bad thing, but everybody knows where he is.
Yeah.
Even like the teachers don't teach him, they all is well known.
Yeah. How does he deal with that?
Few of my friends slag him when they say like instead of calling him Tola, they call him Tola Vintage.
Oh, okay.
So he find it funny. He's
Yeah.
okay with it. He could take jokes.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
But it's like it's nice to always be able to pass something on to the kids, whether it's tangible things or whether it's principles and different things. And I'm sure the same way you saw your dad when you were younger in Nigeria and seeing him as that guy that's at work, seeing him as this guy that does something, but it's always there for them, always. Do you know what I mean? Being able to take the principles in life, but also feel the love from you. Because I feel like a lot of African people have this story where their parents were working so hard to create a life for them that they didn't actually share with their parents.
Yeah. So I don't work weekends.
Yeah.
So if I mean that there must be something. You know, so I work Monday to Friday and then Saturday Sunday I give to them. And that's the way that's the time I give them. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Time.
I love that.
Yeah.
Lastly, sustainable fashion and sustainable and climate change is a massive thing.
Of course.
It's obviously not the reason you started it, but have you seen anybody or have you seen kind of the benefits of what you're doing, connecting with obviously this new trend? It's not something that was trendy for you. It's something that you needed as a lifeline, but now it's become trendy. Has there been any kind of interaction between your business and this new trend?
I think a lot of businesses try to promote themselves as sustainable, but it's what we do every day. You know, we sell second-hand clothing. You know, so because it's trending, a lot of people want it, and a lot of big business will use as their advantage. Or it's what, so right now it's current, but it's a way of life. It's just something we've been doing for the past 10 years.
Has anybody ever tried to buy out Tola Vintage?
We've been offered, not like buy out, but we've been offered like a lot of money as in loans.
Yeah.
We don't need it. We've never taken it.
What's the price?
If someone will buy Tola.
If someone was to take the whole thing.
4 shops, a warehouse, my staff.
Yeah. What's the price?
I don't know.
Don't limit yourself.
It's my son's name.
I love that.
It's never going to be for sale.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I think something you pass on, generation and generation.
Yeah.
And if they can't have it, I think that's what we do. Why we do what we do.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
This has been the most enriching conversation that I've ever had with anybody, and it's no 100%. It's the most surprising one as well. I didn't think it was going to be as deep as it was. I'm so glad for you taking the risk to come here. It wasn't even a risk, but just offering us your time to be here. And I hope that everybody else who's watching is able to learn something from you and connect a lot more to you and even more the story. And hopefully, like we said about the legacy that Penn Corner made 95 years on that corner, hopefully that the essence of that will just transcend to everything that you're doing and the work that you're doing. This whole time, I wanted to ask you one person that was really instrumental in your life and how everything is going. However, you've mentioned so many people along the line that I don't even want to have that conversation. I just want to go to the part where we give you your flowers, like literally. So your flowers.
I'm actually getting flowers.
Yeah, we give flowers verbally, but I think you're such an amazing person, and your work ethic, your habits, all of those things.
Thank you.
Are so now I'm dead ass, man.
Thank you.
Love that for you.
actually give flowers.
Yeah, we do.
Freaking hell.
But I hope that it keeps going well, and I hope that everything keeps going well, and I hope that your kids are able to reap the benefits of all of your work. And Aoife, if you're watching this, I really wish she was here as well. Because I just think the both of you.
I think that one person is Aoife.
Yeah.
The person.
I can tell.
Yeah.
You don't. Yeah. That's amazing. This Aoife, these are for you. When you see this, it's not going to be coming out for another couple of months, but I hope you get them home in time. Is there anything we missed? Is there anything you want to plug before you go?
Not really. Just so anybody want to do stuff, just work every day on it.
Yeah.
You can't fail if you do it.
Just
work at it.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah.
Guys, everybody needs to run to Tola Vintage after watching this episode. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll put all the details in the description.